President Sisi arrives in Brussels to lead Egypt's delegation at the first ever Egypt-European Union summit. Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities launched the official website for the Grand Egyptian Museum. And Egypt and Cyprus signed key agreements to transport natural gas from Cyprus' Coronas field. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has arrived in Brussels to lead Egypt's delegation at the first ever Egypt-European Union summit tomorrow, October 22nd. The Egyptian president arrived at his residence in Brussels, the summit marking a milestone in the comprehensive strategic partnership launched in March 2024, will feature meetings with senior EU officials, European leaders and the King of Belgium. Discussions will focus on political coordination, regional and international issues, economic cooperation, investment opportunities and Egypt's strategy to combat illegal migration alongside other shared priority agendas. Ladies and gentlemen, as we can see right now on the screen is an earlier broadcast from Brussels, where Egyptian communities across Europe were eagerly preparing to welcome President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi from the Egyptian European Summit. The Vice President of the Egyptian Cultural Club in the United States expressed support for the visit, stating that it confirms Egypt's global position and unity between Egyptians at home and abroad. He emphasized that Egyptians abroad act as a cultural bridge, with President Sisi restoring its value. The national campaign, Your Homeland is Your Responsibility, has coordinated meetings with Egyptian communities across Europe. The founder of the Global Union of the Egyptian Citizens Abroad noted that this visit strengthens the bonds between Egyptians inside and outside the country, with the campaign embodying loyalty and belonging. In Germany, the head of the Egyptian Family House in Berlin confirmed that Egyptians are preparing for a proud reception, coordinating with national institutions to organize delegations. In France, the head of the Egyptian community in France stated that the visit is a historic event for Egyptians in France, emphasizing the president's wisdom in handling security and development issues. This visit symbolizes the strong bond between Egypt's leadership and its citizens abroad. Egyptians have expressed immense pride in hosting President Sisi, who has taught Egypt's international stature. Reuters, citing the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has reported that Netanyahu met with the head of Egypt's General Intelligence, Major General Hassan Rashad, to discuss ways to advance U.S. President Donald Trump's plan for Gaza and reinforce the ongoing ceasefire efforts between Israel and Hamas. Earlier, the head of Egypt's General Intelligence departed for Israel to hold meetings with Israeli officials aimed at consolidating the Gaza ceasefire. Discussions also cover the entry of humanitarian aid and ways to overcome obstacles hindering the implementation of U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal. During the visit, the Egyptian intelligence chief is scheduled to meet with U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, who is currently in Israel for related consultations. Hamas leader and head of its negotiating delegation, Khalil al-Hayya, has affirmed that Hamas and Palestinian factions remain fully committed to the Gaza ceasefire agreement. He praised Gaza residents' resilience and highlighted international support, particularly Egypt and President Sisi, as crucial for the agreement's durability. Al-Hayya stressed determination to complete the deal, including returning all bodies despite logistical challenges, and confirmed adherence to humanitarian aid provisions, urging increased deliveries of medical supplies and winter support to meet urgent civilian needs. Egypt has dispatched its 55th aid convoy under the Zad al-Izza Provision of Honor from Egypt to Gaza initiative from Rafah to Gaza via Kerm Abu Salim border crossing. The convoy carried 7,500 tons of urgent humanitarian aid. The shipment includes 240,000 food baskets, tons of flour, over 1,500 tons of medical and relief supplies, and 2,200 tons of fuel. Launched on July 27th, the initiative has delivered diverse assistance from food and medical items to fuel, coordinated by 35,000 volunteers at the Rafah border and logistical centers, supporting Gaza's population amid the ongoing crisis. Egypt's Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has emphasized that Egypt-Qatar relations are at the best, with both countries closely cooperating in mediating the Gaza ceasefire and alleviating Palestinian suffering. In a meeting with Qatar's Minister of State for International Cooperation, Mariam Al-Misnad, they discussed continued collaboration, particularly in delivering humanitarian aid to Gaza. Madbouli thanked Qatar for its efforts in cooperation with Egypt and the US. He also highlighted that over 30,000 tents have already reached Al Arish as part of more than 80,000 tents being sent to Gaza, along with additional initiatives for health, youth employment, and other sectors. The Egyptian Navy has celebrated its 58th anniversary, coinciding with the 1967 sinking of the Israeli destroyer Eilat, a landmark moment in military history that showcased Egypt's naval prowess and resilience. At a press conference held at the Naval Forces headquarters, Rear Admiral Mahmoud Adel Mahmoud Fawzi, commander of the Navy, praised the courage and legacy of Egyptian sailors, calling the event a symbol of the nation's enduring combat doctrine. He emphasized Egypt's ongoing efforts to modernize its naval forces, highlighting the acquisition of advanced warships and enhanced training systems. These developments, he said, ensure the Navy remains capable of safeguarding Egypt's maritime borders and strategic interests. Fawzi extended his congratulations to naval personnel, reaffirming the continued state of high readiness and the vital role in defending the homeland, no matter the challenges. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has confirmed that Egypt is in the final stages of preparing for the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, on November 1st, 2025, an event anticipated by audiences worldwide. Madbouli emphasized the importance of coordinated efforts among all concerned ministries and governorates to ensure the success of the event. He noted that final touches are being made to the museum and surrounding areas, including roads and infrastructure. Governorates involved in the preparations have been instructed to raise the state of readiness, intensify cleaning and lighting operation, and ensure the area is fully presentable for the international celebration. Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has launched the official website for the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, ahead of its long-awaited opening on November 1st, 2025. The site offers comprehensive information on the museum's mission, exhibitions, and visitor services alongside interactive features such as directions, ticket booking and details on on-site amenities like restaurants, shops and gardens. The ministry aims to use the platform to boost global interest in GYM and enhance Egypt's tourism profile through a modern, user-friendly digital experience. Egypt and Cyprus have signed key agreements to transport natural gas from Cyprus' Coronas field to Egypt for processing and export, marking a major step in regional energy cooperation. The deals outline technical and commercial terms for the transfer, supply and liquefaction of Cyprus gas using Egypt's infrastructure. Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi hailed the agreements as a result of close ties between the two presidents and a shared vision for energy integration announced at the East Mediterranean Energy Conference in Cyprus. The agreements strengthen Egypt's role as a gas hub and support Cyprus' export goals. Gas from Coronas, estimated at 2.5 trillion cubic feet, is expected to reach Egypt by 2027. Talks are ongoing to connect the larger Aphrodite field in Egypt, to Egypt as well. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. But before we wrap up, here is a recap to the top stories making headlines to this hour. President Sisi arrives in Brussels to lead Egypt's delegation at the first ever Egypt-European Union summit. Egypt Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities launched the official website for the Grand Egyptian Museum. And Egypt and Cyprus signed key agreements to transport natural gas from Cyprus' Coronas field. For more stories and live updates, follow Qnews on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok at Qnews EGY. From all of us here, many thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on Qnews.